wanna claim I'm resisting. Abuse of power broken along with the system. So tell me why the fuck would we listen if y'all ain't even paying attention? We got real sons dying in this shit. Way too many mamas crying in this shit. You already know you out of line for this shit. And if you ain't saying nothing, then you fine with the shit, you little silent bitch.
All right, I need you guys to spread this shit far and wide. I may not be the first to know, but I sure shit can't be the last. You see this picture right here? I'm sure you have on Facebook with your little racist ass, weird ass Aunt Becky, cousin Sue sharing this shit. All lives matter. Blue lives matter. Look at the unity. First of all, that child does not look unified. He looks scared as shit, and he damn well should be. His name is Devonte Hart. He's 12 years old, and his adoptive mothers, Jennifer and Sarah Hart, forced him to take this photo. They adopted 6 black kids so that they could be considered white saviors in their community. And even though these kids were beaten and neglected and abused and begging for food from neighbors and teachers and for help for their community, DSS would show up and these women refused to give them up. So much so they said, if we can't have them, no one can. And they got drunk and drove their car with this child and all his siblings in it off a fucking cliff. So the next time people say all lives matter with this, tell them that.
Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Get him out of here. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. That's true.
Knocking the hell out of that big mouth. The next time we see him, we might have to kill him.
In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast. Shut up! Shut the hell up!
My skin and my hair are not accessories. My skin and my hair are not a costume for you to wear when it's a trend. The way the oppressors now want our hips and our lips and our curves is nothing new. They want our melanin, our figures, our culture, our music. But when it comes to our struggles, poof, they vanish. When it comes to our history, they say we only complain, that we should finally move on, but how can we when it still happens? All we want is equality. All we fight for is equality, but all they hear is we want more. Please sit down and listen. All I'm saying is that my skin and my hair are not accessories. Black Lives Matter.
Soaking up the melanin, they wish to be this excellent. Biting off the culture and they tan it for the hell of it. Big booty irreverent, originals irrelevant. Drooling off a knockoff when the other one is hesitant. They call it cause they scared of it. Melanin is threatening. Everybody walking cause we rising from the dead again. Breaking off the shackles and we headed for the head again. President Obama ain't the only one intelligent yet. Garrett with the traffic light. Della was a president. W. Du Bois got a PhD from Harvard and Lion King is black again. Ariel was African, American, yet again. They hating on this excellence. Who you think invented it? Rock and roll made you jig again. Before it turned the country was a brother with an instrument. Baby twerking back again. Her melanin is lacking and she do a booty dance that originate from an African. I don't take offense to that. Greatness what you copycat. Just let it be known that greatness is what black is at. Read up on your history. We need you to remember that. Next time that you immolate, just remember where you got it at. I'm done.
Take on more, but no cry out. My friends, the angels got the key and you can't get in. I know it rain, you know it rain too long, all night long, rain all day, rain all night, rain, 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 rain.
And if you are black or African American and you're listening to this, you need to know the truth about how you are being targeted for extermination. You and your children and your grandchildren and your parents, you are all being targeted for extermination. Now, to some extent, we are all being targeted in different ways because there is a depopulation agenda that wants to reduce the entire global population to about 1 billion people. But it seems from observing the way they're doing this, they sure do want to get rid of black people first. And they're actively doing it. It's happening right now. It's right under your nose. Most people have no clue that it's going on. And you've got Black Lives Matter out there marching for social justice, completely oblivious to everything I've just said. Where's Black Lives Matter talking about the abortion industry or the vaccine industry or the psychiatric medication of young black kids or the autism epidemic?
What I said wasn't personal.
Hey, talk to me. Tanidra, talk to me, please.
You don't understand. That's the perception that I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to put in nobody's head that I deserve to win because I'm from Inglewood or because I'm black. But I sometimes feel that people here think that I'm using that just to get ahead. And every time I go into a challenge, I try to prove that it's my talent and not my color that got me here.
Recently, I've seen a lot of white people ask, how is this happening? How does this continue to happen? How can the police just be killing unarmed, innocent black citizens? Well, let me show you some history. This right here is the badge of a runaway slave patrol officer, aka the actual local law enforcement. In the 1860s, these were people paid by private citizens to hunt and kill black people. And this is a very modern day badge of a sheriff today. You add all this up plus the alliance of the KKK in the 1960s, and we have an extremely inherently racist, corrupt police system. Now, I'm not saying that every police officer is a racist person and a murderer, but I am saying at the core of the police organization, there is a system of racism and corruption. So if you want to know what you can do, just know the country is built on some bullshit and we need your help changing it.
I want every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
Wait, hold on. Ooh, being black is beautiful, baby.